Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus. You can see I'm back again to do what I've been given to do. If I told you that I had been chosen by the heavenly power to do what I'm doing, would you believe it? I mean, seriously, would you believe it? Now, I have. There's no other way in the world that I'm still here except to do what I am doing. I'm doing it because I've been shared with truth. I've seen what I hadn't seen, and I know what I didn't know. And I'm just like you didn't know, but you have the potential if you want to. In fact, that's why I'm here to give you a little information to get you started. Let me tell you, you heard the story that God told Adam and Eve that the world was theirs, everything, just certain things don't do. And you can fill in the blank based upon where you heard it at, what you heard. But you also heard that they were deceived. Some people say they were deceived by their conscience, by couldn't resist that apple, so they had to bite into it. Some say it was snake lying to them. Some, all kinds of things you probably heard. But the basic line is to say that they disobeyed. In other words, it doesn't matter whether they listen to the snake or whether they listen to an apple or whether they listen to any and every other thing. The fact is, they made the choice. So the book ended with them. They made the choice, and I would say that ever since that day to this very day, as I sit here today, we've been still living that lie. And it's amazing how it has progressed. It's a sign that, first of all, that God really loves us and God is not, forgive me for saying God is not trying to punish us, but God is giving us chance to live the best we know how. Because in the end, we will learn what life is all about and we will choose life. All of the things that we go through now, we do so because we do not know any better. But let me tell you what the world was supposed to be like. When we came on this earth, human beings came on this earth, they were supposed to support themselves. Everything that they wanted and needed, they were supposed to take care of themselves. If it was just one, that one would do it. If it was just two, those two would do it. If it were five, those five would do it. If it were 100 would do it. If it were a billion would do it. If it were 8 billion, 8 billion would do it. That basically means that that heaven, earth, resources, you and I need. And what are we here for? To engage ourselves in the process of doing something. And what most important? Survival and all of the other stuff after survival. And we have been able, by the power of the Spirit, to recognize that and do all of these things. Now, to make a long story short, just in case you didn't get there, we were to come on this earth as human beings, and every one of us benefits from being on this earth. You heard the expression, you don't work, you don't eat. Well, when you got children, everybody's responsible for the children. The system is responsible for the children to make sure that they suffer for nothing. But at a certain point in time, they are required, and this is what the whole preparation from life from the beginning up until this point, they are required to engage themselves in life. They are required to engage themselves in participating, in producing those things that the people, because people come and people go. People ideas change, people desires change. And as that happens, people do those things, whatever they are. We, the people, do them. So we constantly doing what we love to do, constantly doing in such an abundance because we're all doing it that the supply never runs out. So we don't need money. We are that one family, everybody working for the common good of all. Everybody working for the common good of all. And we're making sure we do it already. See, ladies and gentlemen, look at it like this if it's complicated. You see what we do now? People got houses, people go to jobs, people got cars. People, you know what? You see what people do now, right? Well, I want you to think about it like this. Think about it. If that's what the people still want, every last one of you can have it. But you have it because you participate in life and it belongs to you. It's yours. You, all the people are part owners in everything that exists on the face of the earth. Now, when there was one person making everything, two people splitting it up. Now you got 8 billion people splitting it up, and you can bet your last money that don't give you but a little time to work and a lot of time to experience life. But there's nothing more grateful in your life than that what you do, because that what you do brings life to the whole entire world, and it's all free. Doesn't cost you a penny. So I'm saying that since the beginning of time, men who disregard the spirit and place themselves in the spirit's body have always designed systems of government, and they've gone around and around and around. They've been around I don't know how many times, but nothing is new. And the same thing that happens to one happens to the others. But they try to hide it. You know, like you see, people trying to hide the fact that they used to own slaves. They don't want anybody to know it. And then they want you to think that if it did exist, it wasn't that bad. It was a great, wonderful thing. All that kind of stuff. Any old kind of BS. That's the way they want you to live. That's the way they live. But you, my friends, didn't know the truth. That's what you came in. This is what you were exposed to. When your telephone rang and it was the bill collector you was poor, and your mama said, "Who is?" And they be saying that, see, if they ask for you, if they ask for me, tell them I'm not here. Or your dad say, "I'm not here." You know, so kids learning to lie right away. The benefit of lying. Oh, you're gonna find people that are gonna be so terrible it's a crying shame. Well, you already know that. And there are gonna be some people that's so good to think they're angelic. You can look at them and swear that they're angels. But every last one of them, the baddest and the goodest, all of them help to shape, to make, and keep hell like it is. See, the people who think they're good, who think they're angelic, they think they bring God to the scene. You're not bringing God to the scene. You doing all that other stuff and you bow at the end. You bow at the end. So that gives all the legitimacy to evil that they need. And when they got you bowing, okay, how good you are, you still under the control of the system. And by being under control of the system, that tells everybody who running the show, okay, what you talk about. And so the message that God wants you to know, and I want you to know, is that our solution for our problems today is to make sure we stop all the way we've been living. I mean, we need to continue certain things, just to maintain. But let our focus be. You you remember when they were talking about going to the moon? And there probably was some other things that they used to talk about like that they were going to do and did. So I'm saying like this. Let us make sure that everybody got a job. Let us make sure that we work through the things that we love to make sure that everybody has their needs, their wants, and their desires met. Let us make sure that the people don't have to suffer for nothing because we make enough food, nobody ever suffers. We make enough clothes, nobody ever suffers. We make enough shelter, houses, nobody ever have to suffer. Education is so fantastic, nobody will ever have to suffer. Healthcare is so great, nobody will ever have to suffer. Transportation is so great, no one would ever have to suffer. Infrastructure is so fantastic, no one will ever have to suffer. And all that other stuff, when it comes down to leisure, hey, whatever your mind says, and no one will ever have to suffer. And you live in peace and prosperous and free, joyous, happy, fulfilled, satisfied, and live the life rather than dream it. No lying, no cheating, no stealing, no killing, no hatred, no racism, no big, none of that stuff. And if you knew God, I'm telling you now, if you knew God, that's the only way you would live. So if you're living in this world and you didn't know that, with the world under conditions it is now, and you didn't know that, but you were born again, that means your eyes were open and you can see the world as it really is, and you can see what I just shared with you. You wouldn't be satisfied here. No, you are here. You can't help that. But you do everything you possibly can to change this, to make it just like that on in this heavenly stuff, this new, what you can see. You be doing everything to change this dark stuff. You do it. If you no, if you're born again, that's what you're gonna do. That's you can't help yourself. That's what you're gonna do. And the world begin to change. Who knows? Maybe that's what God would want you to do. Use you to spread the news, and people just start rising up, just like they were coming to Trump, the evil stuff. When you start talking about love and stuff, the world might just rise up and start coming to the message of action. And the next thing you know, nobody's suffering for anything. And bombs and stuff can be converted into something else. This is what I'm saying. This is what I want you to think about. And if the world, if they go crazy, let me just say this thing when I go. If the world goes crazy and try to have a war or something to just disrupt everything, and you know how people have normally acted in the past, people go crazy. Everybody trying to hoard this or that because they don't know where anything else is going to come from. They out there fighting, maybe stealing from each other, going crazy. Don't do that. See, if you got the Spirit of God with you, you won't do that. Let me tell you what you would do if you had the Spirit of God. If you have the Spirit of God with you, ooh-wee. If you had the Spirit of God with you, you keep right on working. You keep right on producing. Somebody said, but now you ain't know. You ain't getting paid. You getting paid. Why? Because what you're doing is what you're doing it for. You getting it. You are continuously making what you were making before. You're continuously doing what you were doing before. And it is still benefiting people like it was doing before. The only thing that's not happening is there is no money being transferred here and there. No money being transferred here and there. And it won't stop anything. Now you might find people who are so mean and so evil that they don't want you to do nothing if they're not making money out of it. They don't want you to do a thing if they're not making money out. You try to go out there and work and take care of stuff like this, and they ain't making the money out there. The sheriff out there put you in jail. See, that's just to let you know what hell is like. That's all. But if you were born again, you're not taking that. And stuff like going to jail, that is not going to do nothing but bring attention to what you're trying to do. And that's all you want is attention. You're not trying to settle here. If you're born again, you're not trying to settle here anymore. No, you're not trying to settle. You're trying to change this thing. And if it was changed, you wouldn't mind settling. But it not being changed, you know what they do if you don't quit. And you're not going to quit. You got faith that whatever got you here, you don't know what it was, really. You can say, you think what you want to think. You don't really know, but you're here. So I don't recall ever worrying about before I got here about being here. And so I'm not going to worry about going and what's there. I have experienced the ugly things of life. And yet, the ugly things of life were beautiful. I'm not going to tell you no lie. Depending upon what you've been exposed to, the ugly things of life can be fantastic. The ugly things of life can be some of the sweetest stuff in the world. Let me tell you something. A real hungry man, a hungry person, let me tell you, a nice sandwich in the garbage can is the sweetest thing you can imagine. And I'm telling you, it'll make you feel great. But that don't mean that you want to walk around eating in the garbage can. But you thank God for that, that sandwich at that moment in time. I'm telling you, I've been there. I've been there. So I just want to say to you this. Um, let us change ourselves and change what is about us, what we are about. Let us change that. Let's make it beautiful. And when I say make it beautiful, let's put a smile on each of our face. It's like going to a award show and you say who's gonna get what, or you're hearing the wheel red and you walk out before the wheel is red. You walk in and the wheel is red and you walk out and everybody got a big old smile on their face. They say, "Ooh, ooh, man!" I'm telling you, you know what? They got the big smile on their face for? Because they got life. They got just what I got to explain to you. And that's what God wants. That's what it was intended. That's what I want. And I hope you do too. But we'll know about what we do. All right. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so very much for listening to me this long. Have a nice day.